We have breaking news. Let's get right to it.
Past 24 hours, we've seen 34 new cases of COVID-19 here in Utah.
Following breaking news out of Utah, a magnitude 5.7 earthquake hitting just after 7 a.m. local time, about 10 miles west of Salt Lake City.
We need 100 to 150,000 tests a day.
What is going on in the world? Isolation20 Podcast is DreRawka, episode number 60. Hopefully you're having the day you deserve. Hopefully you're feeling good. Hopefully you're feeling great. I was on my way into the studio today, and in my community, in my little community that we have, there's a dog park. And I was looking at the dog park, and I was like, how many of these people, like, you're just there because of your dog, right? It's not like you're there because you're dog friends and you go and you make play dates. Or maybe it is. Maybe you do make play dates. Maybe there's a friend sitcom for dogs. But as I was sitting there, I was looking at the dog park and these dog parents, I started to think, like, do they buy each other the gifts? Like when little Schnoodle has their first birthday, are you like, oh, here's Schnoodle, here's a milk bone. Like, do you have to go out of your way to buy the dog a gift? If so, I might be out of this dog thing because that's too much. I suck with birthdays and holidays and gift giving and appreciation with humans. Now, if I got to do that with dogs too, my kids are going to be dogless. Now, hopefully, I do want a dog someday. You know, I had one dog when I was younger. I forget. Oh, we called him Buddy. That's what his name was. He was a stray. He was a little, almost like a wiener dog, but not super long. Paws. We had a little short wiener dog. So it was like a mini wiener dog, I guess. Pause. Do I have to pause that? I think I do a little bit. But we had him, and Buddy didn't last long because I think Buddy ran away. I think we let him out or something, and he never came back. So he once a stray, always a stray. He was for the streets. I loved Buddy for like 3 days. That's about it. But my other dogs, you know, they're my dad's dogs, but I want one of my own. I want one for my family. You know, as much as I joke about, you know, the dog parks and whatnot, it would be nice to go home and the little golden retriever runs up to you and loves you. You know what I mean? Like, that's a cool feeling. I think that's a cool thing to have, but I got to get into a house first. So that's the goal of 2023 is keep on saving money, try to get out of debt, and buy a home. You know, that would be nice. That would be ideal. Cause you don't want a dog inside of a condominium or inside of an apartment complex. You don't want that, especially when you're on a top level like me. That is not good. Cause then it's unfair to the dog. The dog needs room to run. And that dog park, no, I don't want to go there. Oh, I don't want to go there and listen to Stephanie talk about little Hinky. Is Hinky a dog name? Like, I don't. Oh, little Hinky, he hasn't gone to the bathroom. Or, oh, little Hinky again, he ate my ring, so I'm waiting for him to take a deuce so I can just play through his poop and pull out my ring. Dog owners are nasty, especially the dog owners without kids. They are the nasty ones. Stay away from them. Do not eat Susan's casserole if Susan only has her and little Fluffy. If it's just her and little Fluffy, don't do it because she's talking to Fluffy while she's cooking. She's petting Fluffy while she's cooking. She's doing all that while she's cooking your toaster strudel. She's doing all that while she's making the green bean casserole that she's bringing for the November Thanksgiving Friendsgiving. Don't do it. Do not eat that. All right? Don't do it. Thank you to everybody that made a purchase on the website, allrock.com/store. Merchandise is here. You know, that was one of the goals of 2023 is to kick off merch season, kick off seeing these things in the wild, you know. And the homies bought some. Shout out to Will Wonder. He bought a few shirts, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to Jose. I see you. Shout out to Cesar. Shout out to Jessica. And who else we got here? Oh, my homeboy Clark, George, and Steve. Yeah, I think that's all of them. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I took quick notes. I was like, man, I want to shout out some people that bought merch, so I appreciate it. If you want to get your merch, I should have worn my hoodie. My hoodie came in too. I bought one and off the store just like anybody else, and I got it real quick. That's the cool thing about these merch right now, man. You get them super quick. You know, sometimes when you order things online and stuff like that, it can take a while. But nah, man, got these quick. Quality is great. Quality is really good. I'm thinking about doing some more designs, maybe dropping a design a month. I think that's a cool challenge. There'll be some pod merch where it's specific to the pod. Maybe I'll do the don't eat. We'll figure out a merch for the single dog parent. Do not eat. So maybe it'll be like dog mom, don't eat my casserole or something like that. Maybe we'll do some merch like that or something. I think it'll be cool. But no, thank you again. Go get those merch. I'm thinking about doing with Weight Down Credit Up. Oh, shout out to Weight Down Credit Up. Your boy lost 2 pounds in the first week of January. You know what I mean? I'm on the water. You know what I mean? I'm hydrated. Clear as pee. I had a new tagline: clear pee, new me, or new me, clear pee. Clear pee, new me, I think sounds better. So I might have clear pee, new me shirts, because everybody was like, oh, it's a new year, new me. Nah, it's like clear pee, new me, because when we're on our weight loss journey, it's important to get that hydration in. It's important to drink that water. And I feel like that's a part in my own journey that I lack. I was so bad with drinking water. It's not that I hate drinking water. It's just that, like, if I have a soda or, something not water in the house, I'm gonna go for that, even if it's like the Prime or Gatorade. Super bad for me. I know if I'm not working out, I know the Gatorade's horrible for you if you're not working out. I know, but for some reason that's what I gravitated to. Growing up, I used to think if it had carbonation, it was bad. So like I would purposely not drink carbonated stuff, but I would go to like the juices with all the sugar. I'm okay. I'm drinking this cranberry juice. I'm okay. I'm drinking this orange juice. I'm losing weight because I'm drinking juice and not that carbonated stuff. Yeah, I had that wrong. There's a proper way to diet, and then there's, my way of dieting. Don't do my way. But what I'm learning along this journey is that, like, it's very important to drink water. I think that's common sense, but I think it's a part of the journey that we sometimes forget. So, clear pee, new me. Those t-shirts are coming soon. I don't know what they look like, but we got to make shirts for it because I just like that tagline. Shout out to former Bellator fighter TikToker Keith Lee. So we've been on TikTok a little bit more now, right? We've changed up some things with the social media for Unrestricted, for Isolation20, for No Hablo Dre Smith, for anything content wise that you see me put out or the team put out. It's totally different, right? And it was me studying, me being a part of a new group that I'll tell you about here in a minute, that I'm learning along the way. And there is a good way to kind of do this whole social media thing. It's not just posting and forgetting about it and whatnot. It's literally how can we catch their attention? And I'm saying things that you probably already know, but for me, it was going on to TikTok, because at first it was scary to get on TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. My cousin Billy was on TikTok. He had 1 million views. He's a skydiver, right? He does he jumps out of planes for a living. He does really cool things, but he'll never be on my podcast. But he, when he got on TikTok early, he was like, cousin, put your content on TikTok. You will go crazy. Your content is good. Put it up there. And I was like, the news is saying China's looking at us. Dumb old me. I'm like, China's looking at us anyway. If anybody wants my information, they can get it, right? Which is, kind of crazy for me to think that, if I don't get on TikTok, they ain't gonna get me on Instagram. If I ain't on Instagram, they ain't gonna get me on Facebook. If I ain't on Facebook, they ain't gonna get me on Twitter. If I ain't on Twitter, they ain't for sure ain't gonna get me on YouTube. They ain't gonna take my face and likeness off of YouTube. That will never happen. I'm gonna stay away from TikTok. Dumb on me. I wish I would have did it earlier. I threw a couple clips up early, but I wasn't consistent on TikTok. Now we are. Now we're consistent on TikTok. We're dropping our shorts and our reels and our little clips, and it took off. And I'll get into Keith Lee in a minute, but I'm telling you this, kind of give you backstory. When I started posting on TikTok, it was cool. I get a couple hundred here, maybe 50 views here and there, a couple likes, whatever. And then I dropped, it was my most recent episode with Nate with an 8. Shout out to Nate Smith. If you haven't listened to that conversation, go check it out. It's on Unrestricted. And there was a clip that I took that I just thought was funny. And it was when we were talking about High School Musical, because he went to East High. Nate went to the East High. And for anybody that goes to East High or anybody in Utah, you all know that High School Musical was filmed there. And so anybody that I know that went to that high school, I'm always like, oh yeah, you were in High School Musical, right? And then it's either yeah or no, or they have a story about it, especially if it was during that time of filming. So I just threw it out there, right? Sometimes you just kind of have to cast the little line and see if there's any bait, if the fish is gonna take it, right? Nate took it. He took it and he went with it. And he told his story about High School Musical as a student at that school. And I posted it. I chopped it up. I thought it was funny. I chopped it up and put it on TikTok. And boy, was that the right clip to put out. Till this day, not till this day, till this day, right now, as we are talking, it is sitting at, hold on, let me pull up my tickety talk real quick. Look, I already got like 15 more new likes. Right now, current time, 4:55 p.m. on Tuesday, January 10th. It is sitting at 472,200 views. That is crazy. Almost 500,000 views. By the end of the week, it should be close to about, the way that it's like going, it should be close to 500 views. Which means by the end of the month, that clip might hit 1 million views. It's just crazy. And then my other clips on TikTok, and I'm going through this for the creators out there. I know a lot of creators watch this show or listen to this podcast. I'm telling you, if you want to get engagement, if you want to get your platform or your platform or your show bigger, I'm not saying anything you don't know, but you got to put the content out for the people. You got to stay. If you think you're consistent right now, you need to double that, because you're not doing enough. That's how much content I recommend you putting out. And just off of that alone, and mind you, there's certain thresholds that you have to meet before you can start getting paid off of this stuff, right? So for TikTok, I think you have to have like 1,000 followers or something like that. I'm only at 167, but my likes are at close to 100,000, right? So I'm almost there as far as like being able to get paid off of social media, off of this content stuff from other people other than sponsors and just people that want to support, right? YouTube, we're really, really close. We need about 200 more subscribers, and then we can start getting paid off of that. So I appreciate anybody that has subscribed. Be a part of this, man. This is the People's Podcast. I want you to feel like you have ownership in this thing, right? And how do you have ownership? By meeting these milestones. If we get picked up, right? Let's say we just get picked up by a network or something, or a big sponsor comes in and helps out, right? You're a part of that. And of course, if this benefits me in any type of way, I'm going to give back to the people, right? We're going to do giveaways. We're going to do these things. So if you are a part of the community already, you already subscribed, you already dropped a review on the podcast, whether if it's Spotify or Apple, if you dropped a comment, if you subscribed, or if you shared on YouTube, I appreciate you more than you can even know. I really do. It's not easy doing this stuff, especially when you're alone. I tell you guys all the time, it's hard to shoot video, audio, edit the whole thing up, chop up the clips to the degree that I'm doing it at right now. I'm staying up until 3 a.m. sometimes, waking up at 6 a.m. and doing it all over again. And I got a day job. I got work. I got kids. I got a wife. I got certain things that I got to get done. I got deadlines. It does not get easy, but the cliche saying is, grind it out, right? And it's going to pay off, right? Put in the work and it's going to pay off. No sleep now, but hopefully it's going to pay off. I feel that. So when I was on TikTok, getting back to former Bellator athlete Keith Lee, I was on TikTok when I was posting, and I came across a video where he's a food review critic, right? And he was telling a story about how he went to this restaurant in Las Vegas, because that's where he lives, and it's called Frankenstein's. And it's a restaurant that serves pizza, Italian food, wings. And he goes up and he orders his food. And as he's waiting, he said it's a beautiful service, right? It's great service. And as he's waiting for his food, the person that took his order asked him what he does. And he, softly underneath his he whispered, I'm a food critic. And the guy was kind of like taken back. He was kind of like, oh wow, like that's cool, man. And Keith gets his food and great service. He gets back home and he does his TikTok video, right? And he's talking about this story about how the owner was telling him about how much he's been struggling. It's hard for him to pay bills. It's hard for him to keep his doors open because he's just not getting the business. The food's great, but he's just not getting the business. And so Keith is like, all right, well, let me try the food. Let me see if it really is. If the food's great and he's not getting business, maybe it's just the marketing. So Keith on his TikTok, he does his food review. He does his food critic. He's eating the wings. Boom, 10 out of 10. Best wings I've ever had. He's eating the garlic knots. Oh my gosh, he's a fire. He eats the pizza. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? This is amazing. He gets to the ranch. Ranch is blah. Not really my thing. But everything else, amazing. So Keith comes to the conclusion that, hey, you know what? It is your marketing because your food is amazing. And so he does this. He has millions of followers on his TikTok. He does that the next day. Matter of fact, no, the same night. He goes and I think it was the same night. He goes to Frankenstein's. I keep on wanting to say Frankenstein's because it's kind of Frankenstein theme. He goes there and there's a line out the door. He tries to call and just to say thank you to the owner, and nobody's picking up. When he gets there, he realizes, oh, the reason why he's not picking up is because there's a line out the door. And all it took was for this young man on TikTok to make a review, give his honest opinion, and the food spoke for itself, right? The product spoke for itself, and now he has more business than he knows what to do with it, right? And I thought that was so beautiful. I thought that was so cool that this TikToker, he didn't go for clout. He didn't go to gain anything. He didn't go for a free meal. He spent $80-something, close to $100 on food that day out of his own pocket. He didn't ask for it for free. He wasn't like, hey, give me $1,000 and I'll make a TikTok for you, right? He didn't say that. He was like, man, I'm going to try the food. And because I understand that you're having a hard time, I'm going to be authentic about it. I'm going to buy it. There's no bias here. I bought the food. There's no ties here between the restaurant and Keith, right? No ties. He did that out of the kindness of his heart. And because of that, I feel like that's why people gravitated to this restaurant. Like to the point where people were driving from Utah, Arizona, everywhere around Nevada to go to this restaurant. And I'm not going to lie. I'll probably make a stop. I got to try these wings. Like he was so excited about these wings. They look so good. And I'm a wing guy. Lemon pepper. I love me some good wings, man. And when I was doing I was looking at some articles, Keith Lee, the TikToker, right? Former Bellator fighter. I had no idea he was a former Bellator fighter. And I didn't even know this. His younger brother is former UFC lightweight Kevin Lee, which is a big name in the UFC, by the way. If you don't know UFC fighters, he has a name. Kevin Lee was that guy. Now I think Kevin Lee left UFC and now he's doing something else, but really dope, man. Congratulations to Keith and to the Frankenstein's establishment. And I say congratulations because now Keith's getting publicity. Now he's blowing up. Now he's getting brand deals. And now the restaurant, they're able to thrive. I'm sure it's going to create more jobs for people in that community too. It's just a really cool thing, man. It's something that I take away. It's something that I ingest. And I try to, when I see something good and something that like makes me happy, I try to take it in and benefit from it. So hopefully me telling you that, hey, if you have an opportunity to help somebody out, obviously we live in a world of we all need to eat, right? So if you can get a couple bucks from it, oh, cool. But if there's an opportunity for you to do something at the kindness of your heart, do it, man. Look out for people. And speaking of looking out for people, man, I've been working on something. A couple of you already know what's going on. But because I see it on social media, I feel like I can announce it now. A few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, actually, I was on social media and I was scrolling Instagram and I seen a video from a hip hop. I would call him a hip hop historian at this point. If you hear this, do not take that as disrespect. As far as being old. Now you are old, man. You are a fossil in this hip hop industry. I'm just playing. But the person I'm talking about is Cypher Sounds. So that name may tickle your fancy, or you might just be like, well, who the hell is that? Cypher Sounds, there's a lot to Cypher. He's a former Hot 97 radio personality that has interviewed so many people. He really broke Rihanna. He broke Sean Paul. He was Chappelle's DJ. Well, he is Chappelle's DJ. He's done a lot for the culture of hip hop, and now he's moved into the culture of comedy. And now he's just killing it in comedy. He's all over the place with the comedy space, and it's a beautiful thing. So when I seen a post from him, and he's a host of one half of One Ep, one of the biggest hip hop podcasts out, and most impactful. Can we add most impactful? I feel like that podcast is one that is gonna win an award, maybe in 2023. I think so. I feel it. So when I was scrolling on social media on Instagram and I seen this video, he put a calling out. Hey, yo, I want to take this social media thing seriously. I need help. If you are good with whatever, graphics, whatever ideas, whatever, even if you're not good and you're willing to learn, reach out to me. So that's what I did. I came into the studio. I edited up a quick reel of my work, of what I've done. And I've done this a couple times, by the way. There's a few other organizations and companies outside of the industry that I've done this for, just to see what opportunities are out there. Who needs help? How can I help them? Am I a good fit? And a couple of people have reached out to me and given me an opportunity, but it wasn't a good fit. It didn't make sense. The culture wasn't there for me, right? But this one, when I reached out to Cypher and I sent my email and everything like that, I got an email back and he was like, yo, let's set up a meeting. And so we met over Zoom, bing bang, and he introduced me to the crew. You know what I mean? Hey, you're a part of the team. And 360 Society is our team. And going through this process, man, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about other people and the way they work and whatnot. In return, it's really helping me with my own content too. So I in this process of doing this, man, I've learned a lot, man. I've had a conversation with Cypher and he's giving me some game on like some personal life stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm very grateful right now. You know, 2023 so far has been nice, man. This last few months has been nice. And I think it's all going back to what I was talking about is, you know, put in that work, man. Those tired moments where you're tired. I'm not saying just work 24/7, but what I'm saying is like, if you have the ability and you, let's say, let me put it in some context, right? If it's a Sunday night and you'd rather watch football or, you know, drink a beer or go out to the bar or whatever, cool. Nothing wrong with that. But could you have spent that time learning something else, reaching out to people, sending your content somewhere else, chopping up your current content and repurposing it just to try to be seen more, to try to grow this following, to try to grow this the audience, to try to get more engagement? Because I'll tell you what, if you do that and you breed that, it means more people are going to see you, more people are going to want to be a part of what you got going on, and more people means more opportunities. Not just like people click and like and stuff, but more opportunities for companies to be like, hey, we like what you're doing. Here's a camera. Or, hey, we like what you're doing. How about we do a giveaway for your audience? Now, the community that you built and that is building, now they have an opportunity to win some cool stuff and get some cool stuff, right? I'm grateful in this moment, you know what I mean? And a lot of that just comes from just taking the opportunity, running with it, and just not being scared. You know what I mean? It's scary when you're meeting with people with accolades and things like that. And just to be real, you have to believe in yourself, right? You have to believe in yourself and believe that, hey, I can do this. I can do that. I don't know how to do it, but hey, I'll go on YouTube and I'll spend a few hours learning this one thing just so I can make it doper. Even if it's a clip, even if I'm making a clip and let's say it's making a video, a photo pop up in a certain way, right? I'm going to spend hours learning that one thing that's going to be 1 second long that could change your clip going from a few hundred likes to a few 100,000 likes. Like, are you dedicated? And right now, man, I'm feeling the dedication, man. I'm feeling really good about it. And I'm just happy. I'm happy. If anybody from the 360 Society watches this, make sure you share my shit.
Are you sick of podcasts that just interview people with the same questions and gossiping nonsense?
Are you tired of hearing about what's wrong with the world? Can you locate your nearest orphanage?
Who cooked the Last Supper?
R.I.P. Mr. Potato Head.
Seppuku Harakiri.
Where is Mavis Beacon?
This is Hos.
And this is host Beefy.
Listen to the Beans and Rice podcast.
Exclusively in Braille and all streaming platforms.
Patent pending.
What?
What?
What is that noise? Oh, yeah, you know what time it is. 385-240-4666 is that number for What's That Noise. We've had a lot of guesses on this noise so far. Nobody has gotten it. What do you think it is? Let me know. What is that noise? The guys from the T-Talk podcast, they couldn't get it. Nate Smith couldn't get it. Who else? Javi couldn't get it. Leah from the Soul Sisters podcast couldn't get it. Drop your comments. 385-240-4666 is the number. Literally, what I want you to do is save that number in your phone. If you get inspiration to call the podcast, I got a voicemail system where you literally call that number and you can drop a voice note and we can play it here on air on the podcast. So don't be shy. Save that number, 385-240-4666, and be a part of the conversation and possibly win $50 for What's That Noise. Hey Alexa, can you show me a new barber?
Don't worry, I got you.
Boogie Down Barbershop in Taylorsville is now open. Anything from gentleman's cuts, taper, fade, or if you want to treat yourself to a nice hot towel shave, Boogie Down Barbershop has you covered. Cuts for men and kids. Book your appointment today at boogiedownbarbershop.com.
The name says it all.
Uh-oh, you know my name.
This is Are You Dumb?
In all the news that's stupid, are you dumb? 61-year-old DeBarge arrested for weapons and narcotics. Now, the narcotics, I was expecting some pills, maybe. Nah, my man with the heavy heroin, allegedly. DeBarge, what are you doing, my guy? What's going on, man? What's going on in your life that at 61 years old, you are doing heroin for one, but for two, you get caught up with a whole crowbar, illegal type weapon. What's going on? Now the cop said he had expired tags. That's the reason why they pulled up behind him, because he wasn't driving, he was parked, and they seen the expired tags and they're like, yo, hey, your tags are expired. Oh, what's that on the seat? Oh, that's an illegal weapon. Oh, what's that in your car? Oh, that's heroin. Man, we gotta book you. Can you feel it in the rhythm of the night? Dancing to the morning light. That ain't gonna get you out of it, DeBarge. You gave us classics. Now I had some problems. Boom, boom. And nobody give us some classics. If you grew up black in the 80s and 90s, you grew up with DeBarge in your household. They were in your household. And if you're like me, you're still playing it today. And all this love is waiting for you, my baby. Come on, man. I feel bad, man. This is DeBarge is just a couple years older than my pops. This is like this. I look at DeBarge as like, yo, this could be my pops. Now, my pops ain't slamming heroin. I don't think so. I think I would know if my dad was doing heroin. Yeah, at 61 years old, I would know. I would know, right? You would have. Do you think your parents could hide things from you right now? Like at all your life, all your life, your parents never. You always found the porno stash, right? You always found the little magazines. But in 2023, when your parents are, let's say 50, 60, maybe even 70 years old, do you think they can make it that long? 60, whatever, 30 something, 40 something years of your life, 50 something years of your life. Do you think they can keep a secret from you that long? If so, what is that secret? What is that secret? For DeBarge, it might be doing heroin. For my dad, it might be he likes fingers up his butt. But that's nothing that I would like to know. Like that's things. I guess sexually, there's secrets, right? I don't know my dad's fetish. I don't know what makes my dad's booty perk. I mean, I don't know what gets him percolating. I don't know. It could be whips and chains. I don't know. I've never seen leather in my house. Damn, now I gotta go back and think about it. Like what was weird in my dad's room that was just off? You know what I mean? Like, was there a turkey baster in there for no reason? Nah. My dad didn't do that. He had a pretty simple, pretty basic bedroom. I mean, there's a mattress, there's a dresser, there's a TV. You know what I mean? There's some clothes in the closet, hangers. Yeah, there was nothing abnormal. But what was the secret that your parents could keep away from you? I hope DeBarge gets it together, man. This is bad news for an old man. I don't care. He's a celebrity. Any 61-year-old out there. Like, heroin's not an old drug. I mean, it's an old drug, but it's not like a drug that old people should be doing. Like, old people drugs should be like Viagra. Like, do Viagra, shrooms. Like, shrooms is an old people, like an old person, psychedelic type of drug, right? When I think of shrooms, I think of like an old dusty dude with like a tie-dye shirt, headband. He has a hemp necklace and he smells like dirt. Like dirt and like lemon. I don't know why. I think that's what that person would smell and look like. That's an old person drug, not heroin. Heroin's gonna be like your early 20s. Like, you're gonna slam heroin in your early 20s. You're gonna go to the little retreat. You're gonna find a new you. You're gonna get all cleaned up, and then in your 30s, then you're like, hey, I know what it was like. It was tough. It was tough slamming heroin at that age, but you can do better. Look at me, I'm better. Now all I do is shrooms, and I go to a Burning Man. That's how this needs to go. All right, DeBarge, put down the heroin, pick up some shrooms, smoke a little weed. Put a little weed. No weed ain't hurt nobody. Get some little weed. You don't need the heroin. What they call that, tar? I don't know my drugs. Thank God I don't know my drugs. Drugs have been around me. Drugs have been in me. Pause. Not consuming. I was a mule. Just playing. You could dive in my butthole. Just playing. Or am I? Check out the website to find out. Not just playing. Oh, BMW. BMW is introducing the world's first color-changing car. I'm putting this in dumb news because, yeah, it's cool, right? It was a concept car, and it literally changed like a chameleon. Bloop, 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 bloop. Different colors. Bloop, 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 bloop. Different colors. Bloop, 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 bloop. Different colors. It was pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie. It changed really quick, no lag, and you couldn't really, via the video, you couldn't really tell like anything wrong with it. It was really dope, actually. But here's why I put it in dumb news. Because these concept cars, we see them all the time, but hardly any of them ever come out. There's only a piece of them that come out. When the first electric car was a concept car, they were like, okay, but they had a whole bunch of it. They had like tires that were circular, looked like a Target, you know, the little balls in front of Target. It looked like that never came out. The car that can move like a crab and move sideways and just drive sideways, that never came out. The car where you can literally split it in half and one person can take off one way and the other car can take off the other way, like motorcycles, that never came out, right? So this one right here, the BMW color changing car, while it's a dope concept, it looks dope, I don't see this being possible in real life. As far as like consumer consumption, right? One, I instantly thought of that movie Taxi. Remember when what's Shorty's name that just divorced Tom Brady? Giselle, right? The Brazilian chick Giselle, when she was in there and they ripped off the little plastic off of their BMW, and then they had different color, right? They had like a shell. I instantly thought, man, if a bank robber really wanted to, they could just get the color changing car and then rob the bank and then change the color of the car, right? But then I was like, man, there's probably not gonna be a lot of those out on the road. So registration, but maybe if you steal it, I don't know. I think criminal wise, it would be horrible to have color changing cars, because who knows, man? Like you can literally do a drive by. Oop, we're looking for a blue BMW with two males in the front. You thought I was gonna say black, huh? You thought I was gonna say black males. Don't do that. Racism's bad. Don't get offended. Right? We're looking for that, but then they switch it, and now they're in a white BMW, and now the male, he laid down, so you can't see him. Now there's one male, black, and a white BMW. Come on, man. They got away.
Hey, Dre, would you calm down for a moment and just let me talk? Just at this point, you're just rambling, all right? What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Will Wonder, and I have a podcast called The Will Wonder Pod. I know, super original name, but I promise you'll love it. We talk sports, we talk music, and generally have some really interesting interviews with people that are doing some really cool things. So make sure you check it out wherever you get your podcast. Once again, that is The Will Wonder Pod. All right, Dre, go on about your business, whatever the fuck you were talking about.
And now the movie review segment you didn't ask for. It's down in front.
I'm a fan of the documentaries. I'm a fan of the real. And honestly, it really started, I don't know when it started with the documentaries. Maybe Selena, maybe the biopics really started it. Because I was like, man, you don't get more better than somebody's real life story. It doesn't get better than that. So I was on Netflix and I was watching this new show called Aftershock. This is season 1, by the way. It's called Aftershock, Everest in the Nepal earthquake. The one from 2015. I don't remember this. I remember it briefly, but I didn't really dive into it. I know that it was bad, but I didn't realize how bad it was. 9,000 plus people died in Nepal. It was bad. But this documentary, it highlights the whole thing. It highlights the people up on Everest, the camp in Nepal, the village in Nepal, right? The whole community of Nepal, and how bad this earthquake was. I think it was a 7.5, and Nepal is built with fucking toothpicks, so it just crumbled. It just fell. It was bad. It was really, really bad. I would say mature audience, if you are not into devastation and this kind of stuff, do not watch this movie. Or if you're afraid of earthquakes, do not watch this documentary. They show it. You know, they show the clips of the buildings falling on people, the buildings falling on cars. I didn't go into this show knowing that, and so when I watched it was shocking. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt me. It took me to a place where I was like, those kids, those parents, like families gone, and there's nobody to blame. Like, we're living on Earth, we're living in Mother Nature. We're living in Mother Nature in a way that Mother Nature, Earth, did not intend, right? We're living in buildings, skyscrapers, and unfortunately, due to just luck of the draw, they're in a country that isn't equipped to, or engineered or built to withstand these type of earthquakes. And yeah, man, I got a little emotional sitting on the couch. Me and my wife were watching it. I'm like, damn, like these kids, there's a kid in a car and a building just falls on them. And there's nothing nobody can do. You know what I mean? Except recover bodies at that point. There was a few people that survived, right? That were in the rubble. One man, he lost his legs. You know, the dog found him, sniffed him out. Dude, when the recovery people went in there, military went in there, pulled him out. He ended up losing both his legs. Man, it's a devastating documentary, but highly recommend it. It puts a lot of things in perspective. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff, I say it once, I'll say it again. All the stuff that we do is bullshit. All this shit don't matter. What matters is the way you treat people and making sure that you treat your make sure you take care of your family and just try to be a good human. And during this event, there was chaos. There was a point where there was two, I think they were Palestinian guys that were trying to leave too, right? Trying to get on a helicopter and whatnot. And people wouldn't let them because they thought they were thieves. They were like, yo, you are thieves. You're not going nowhere. We're going to take you out, right? Kind of thing. Like holding them hostage kind of thing. I won't ruin anything for you, but I highly recommend you checking it out. And as far as the people on Everest, this was incredible, man. We all hear about Mount Everest. We hear about the people that lose their lives every year due to this mountain, trying to go to the freaking top, the peak of this mountain, right? They have different stages in which you got to accomplish this hike, right? It's not just a one day you go. It's like literally one day to one camp. You're going through the most treacherous terrain. You're going through icebergs. You're climbing up icebergs vertically, like to a degree that's crazy, with a little aluminum ladder. It's nuts, and you're facing the cold. You're facing avalanches. Oh man, it's awful, man. I don't know why people would want to go and try to do this thing called Everest. I think it's extremely dangerous, obviously, but at the same time, it doesn't sound fun. Like going in the cold, having the wind blow in your face, wearing a whole bunch of gear that is just gonna weigh you down. Doesn't sound fun. Does not sound fun. How about we just go hike Hawaii? There's big hills in Hawaii. We can go hike it up the mountains in Hawaii and look at the cliffs and look at the ocean and the beautiful sunset while we're drinking out of a coconut. That sounds fun. How about that? There's no coconuts on Everest. You know, the best you got is glacier water. The best you got is glacier water. And if you drink that water, you'll probably die because of, what's that thing called? Climate change. Yeah. So if you want to go to Everest, go to Everest. I don't recommend it, but what I do recommend is you checking out that show, Avalanche, Everest, and the Nepal earthquake. Now, I said it was season 1 because that's how Netflix has it listed. So I'm assuming that they're going to do another Aftershock, probably maybe North Korea, maybe the Pacific Islands. There's been a few earthquakes. The Chile earthquake, they'll probably do Chile next. That was another big one. 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, 50 Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent Jackson. Yeah, him. He announced on Big Boy's Neighborhood that he is working on an 8 Mile TV show. So if you haven't seen 8 Mile, Eminem, it's a loosely based movie on Eminem's come up, right? going from the trailer parks of the 8 Mile in Detroit to being one of the biggest battle rappers in Detroit, right? He battled everybody. He's battling the top guys. You know what I mean? Free World, the dangerous guys in the group. He goes through, he gets beat up, he comes back, homeboy steals his girl, rest in peace Brittany Murphy. He comes back, his mom's getting her bag blown out on the couch. He sees that. Oh, and then Haley, his daughter, she's having a hard time too because dad's got a mom spaghetti on his shirt and he has a black eye. And then he's supposed to get a record deal, but his homeboy he fumbled the bag and he's messing with him and just to steal his girl. And then he's working at the plant so long he turned into a plant. It's crazy. It's crazy. 8 Mile's crazy. But with this show, what they're alluding to is that this show of 8 Mile is going to show the younger life of Eminem. It's going to show Young Rabbit. It's going to show what it was like living with that mom in that trailer park, right? Growing up. And I'm assuming the way that it's going to work is that they'll probably do like, young M, and then they'll show teenage M, and they'll probably do some flashbacks in between. I don't know if Eminem would act in it. We haven't seen Eminem act in forever. I mean, I think he did some cameos in some movies and some like teenage spoof movies, maybe. But we haven't seen him on the big screen like he did 8 Mile in a very long time. But who knows? M might make a comeback on the big screen. Of course, we'll see 50 Cent's big head in there because we see 50 Cent in everything that he produces. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't know. He said TV show. I don't know if he's going to go to CBS with it because I think CBS is the one that he did For Life or My Life, the story of the wrongfully convicted guy that got out. He became his own lawyer. He produced that, and I think that was on CBS. So maybe he keeps it there, but I would rather have this story, the Eminem story, the 8 Mile story. I would rather have that be uncut. Send it over to Stars. I think Stars is what Power's on. Do it on Stars. Do it uncut. And be raw with it. Show us everything. Show us the drugs. Show us the violence. Show us the struggle. Show us everything. We want this thing to be authentic. Fifth, you can do it. You've done great shows. BMF, great show. Power, great show. You do great shows. Now, give us this 8 Mile in the rightful way, because this is an introduction to M that these kids don't know about. You know what I mean? These kids don't know about the Rap Olympics. They don't know about this stuff. So show us. You know what I mean? Show them. I mean, and I'm a fan. I love 50 Cent. I mean, Fifth was a soundtrack to my middle school years and my high school years. To this day, Get Rich or Die Trying is in my playlist. I listen to that on the weekly.
Karl Malone is a traitor. John Jones is the greatest of all time, but cocaine is a hell of a drug. It's your sports segment.
Utah Utes got a lot of things to be excited about. Obviously they lost the Rose Bowl, so don't be excited about that. But be excited because Cam Rising is returning for his senior year. One last go he put on Twitter. Let's do it again, man. Let's run it back, he said. So he's fired up. He's ready. Some young guys coming onto the Utes. Hopefully they got, I think they got all the pieces to the puzzle. I think Cam is going to work on it in the offseason. There was a couple games where I feel he got a little shook under pressure. But that could just be me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like once he heals up that leg, he'll be solid. I'm looking forward to it. Cam Rising's a quarterback that I actually get excited to see play. Even though I'm not a Utes fan. I mean, I get excited to see Cam play. The national championship happened. Now, like most of the country, I was going for TCU. Because who was going for Georgia? If you don't live in Georgia, you weren't going for Georgia. And if you were, suspect. I think suspect's the right word. Because nobody wanted Georgia to win. Nobody wants Bulldogs. No, we ain't doing that. No. TCU. What is it? Horned Frog? Horny Toads? Yeah, we wanted the Horny Toads to win. Texas Christian University. That's what we wanted to win. Did not happen. And it sucks. It sucks that it didn't happen. Let me just pull up some stats real quick. Overall score, TCU, Big O 7. Georgia, 65. They got beat so bad that the Georgia Bulldogs, they started eating chicken wings like in between during the game. Chicken wings. If you are eating while I am still fighting for my life, we got a problem. We got to fight afterwards, yo. Like, don't do that. Like, I'm gonna fight you. Don't be eating a corn dog while I'm trying to get a sack. We're trying to come up. We're trying to come up from 7. We're trying to come up 60 points. Come on, man. Don't do this. So the first quarter didn't start off too bad. I mean, they ended at 17. And then it was just over after there. They did not, obviously TCU did not score again after the first quarter. Georgia really took off in the second, scoring 21. And then they went up again 14. And then again in the fourth quarter, ran it up 13. Man, perfect season for the Georgia Bulldogs, though, man. Perfect season, 15-0. They sat at number 1 spot. Congratulations to them. They deserve it. I know Alabama was heated, though. I can't wait for football next season. This is the part of the year where it sucks, man, because I'm not a huge NFL fan. I will watch it. I'm definitely going to watch the playoffs. But college football is kind of like what I love. I love college football. I love seeing these young men go from high school and into the atmosphere of college, right? The college atmosphere is like high school atmosphere, very much school spirit, but like on steroids. And I haven't seen that in any professional setting other than like European soccer or football, I guess you would say. I haven't seen that same passion for any other professional sport. So I'm excited for college football to restart. The Utah Jazz, man, Jordan Clarkson, he opted out of his extension, meaning he might be trying to get a bag from Utah. He might be trying to get a bag, or he might be trying to play the field. See, hey, who else is interested in me? Jordan's not playing horrible. He would be a great addition to some other team. And then I read today that Jordan Clarkson, which, I mean, he's from Texas, right? He's from Texas, but he just bought a 10,000 square foot San Antonio home. Damn. That's a big house. Now, with him opting out, being from Texas, I started to think, where would Jordan be good at? Where can Jordan go? And if we're talking about Texas, he bought a house. I mean, if you want to use up that 10,000 square foot house, San Antonio, he bought it in San Antonio. Do you go to Pop? Do you go to San Antonio? I don't know how far Dallas is from San Antonio. Do you try to go to the Mavericks? Do you see if the Mavericks are interested? Do you try to go play with Luka? Luka needs help. And Jordan can get buckets. That would be fun. That'd be fun to see him and Jordan and Luka play together. Does he go to San Antonio though? They're not that good, but they are they're very close to getting Wembanyama Ding Dong. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the sports expert. I'm just kind of just throwing it out there. Let me know what you think. You can always drop a comment, 385-240-4666. Be a part of the conversation.
Hey, yo, you're probably listening to the Unrestricted Podcast with DreRawka. We are? No, they are. Yeah, oh, right.
Oh, wow.
And I'm the real Ruby. You can catch me and Fonzie and the G-Daddy Funk on Lake Talk 801 Podcast.
Yeah, but I think you have to come in more smoother, more funnier. Like, yeah, they could catch us on the Lake Talk 801 podcast.
Yeah, y'all can catch us on the Lake Talk 801.
Yeah, and be like, and yeah, man, hey, and they could catch people like me, the real Ruby, and people like you, Fonzie, and people like him, G-Daddy Funk,
wow,
on the Lake Talk 801. Who cares?
What did he say?
Huh?
I didn't hear him.
I don't know, but this probably should be the ad.
Are these on?
Catch a new episode every Monday on all streaming platforms. The Lake Talk 801. Tune in now.
All right, that's it. That's all your bitch ass gets.
All right, that's all you get. Another Isolation 20 podcast, episode 60. Thank you so much for anybody that made it this far. If you are on YouTube, shout out to the YouTube gang. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you're just listening on the audio, drop a review. Go onto the Apple Podcast, the Spotify, drop a review. 5 stars will help me out. It helps out with the algorithm as well. Share my shit. I appreciate you, for real. Don't forget, merch is on the website right now, allrawk.com. That's allrawk.com/store. Merch up there will be coming down pretty soon. I think at the end of the month is when we're going to end this run. And then I'll have some new designs, new merch, maybe recycle some merch for those of you that didn't get it this month. Maybe I will. I don't know. I want some urgency. I want you to buy it. If you see a shirt, if you want to support, that's the way to support. I don't make any money. I make like maybe $2 or $3 off of our shirts. But I would appreciate it if you bought one. And if you listen to the show, if you are a day one listener or maybe a new listener and you have some shirt ideas, maybe there's some content, let me know. I want to be able to give the people what they want, if it makes sense. I will be at a bar named Sue this Saturday, Highland, 3928 South Highland Drive. I'll be at Fierce Fighting Championship at the Maverick Center in West Valley City, Utah. Friday, January 20th, you can get tickets for Fierce Fighting Championship number 23 right now, fiercefightingchampionship.com. A lot of fun. If you are in the local Utah, Salt Lake City, tri-state area, come out, support Utah MMA. And if you are outside of Utah, we got a lot of listenership from Oregon to New York City now. We have some people in Europe. Shout out to all my folks in Europe and Germany. I know my nephew put a lot of you on to my show, this show. I appreciate you listening. If you want to look at some local Utah MMA fights, you can actually stream it on fiercefightingchampionship.com. So go check that out. And tell them, drop a comment. Yo, Dre sent me here. Yo, that dude Dre, that's the guy. We gotta invade. Let's invade everything. We are moving as a unit. If you go to something, yo, we are here. We in here. We kicking down doors, son. And then I'll be at a bar named Sioux State. All right, for UFC 283, which is at 8136 South State Street. Come hang out. Your boy probably, how about we have some seltzers? You know what I mean? I'm watching it. I'm very much Clear P new me. So maybe I'll have a seltzer with you. Come out, watch the fights with me. All right. Yeah, have the day you deserve, man. Always protect your light. We out. Peace.